What's up, everyone? Welcome to Summit Talk, the podcast where we explore what it means to be grounded in purpose or reaching for greatness in every area of life. I'm Elle, I'm your host, and I'm excited to dive into today's topic with you. I missed you. Today, we're talking about something that separates those who make things happen from those who just dream, and that thing is consistency. Look, I get it. Showing up every day is not always easy. Sometimes you're motivated, sometimes you find a show that you want to binge watch on Netflix. But with consistency, that's where the real transformation happens. Today, we're going to break down why consistency matters and how to be locked into your discipline and your habits even when you're over it. I remember when I really started to lock in on my fitness journey. I'm built to be thick. Good with that. That's how God made me. But I wanted to be a little muscle mama, a little tone here, a little tone here, just something cute for the kids. And very quickly, I realized how much getting up early in the morning was going to compete with my warm bed. And I couldn't rely on what I felt like doing in that moment. What I learned when I started that journey is that I was going to have to rely heavily on my habits and discipline versus what I felt like doing. The myth of motivation is you're not always going to be motivated to do the things that you claim you want to do. It comes and goes. But your discipline and your habits, that's what's going to take you far. Small steps can lead to big wins. Think about it like training for a marathon. You don't just get up one day and run the whole race. No, you start one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 mile at a time, then 2 miles, then 3 miles. Consistency builds endurance, just like in running, but in life. The struggle is real, but so is the growth. What are some common roadblocks to consistency? Excuse number 1, I don't have the time. If you can scroll on TikTok for 30 minutes, you have the time. Excuse number 2, but I'm not good at it yet. Every expert started as a beginner. Just start. Excuse number 3, I don't see the progress. You're not going to at first. Growth takes time. Remember that seeds grow underground before they break through to the top. Give yourself some time. Listen, my first time trying aerial hammock, I looked like a crumbled up pretzel just dangling from midair. It looked scary. And now I still look like that same pretzel, but I'm a little bit more graceful, but it took me time. I had to stay consistent in that practice. Here are some practical ways to stay consistent. Number 1, set some non-negotiables. Decide ahead of time. If you set for yourself that you're going to the gym 3 times a week, then that's it. That's all, period, end of sentence. There's no more. You're going 3 times a week. Number 2, attach it to something you already do with habit stacking. For example, if you have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the morning, accompany that with some light stretching. Now you're doing 2 things at once instead of the one thing, and you're more likely to continue with that habit. Number 3, find accountability. Tell a partner, tell a friend, tell somebody about what you're doing so they can hold you accountable when you start to fall off. Number 4, track the small wins. There is success in showing up. Remember, it's progress over perfection. Track your small wins. And number 5, give yourself grace, but not an excuse. Missing one day is human. Now, falling off for a week, that's a choice. But give yourself grace and stay consistent. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. You start one day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And when you look back, you're going to have a lot of days underneath your belt. Small, faithful actions will take you places that you can never imagine. Success isn't built in a day, it's built daily. What's one thing you can commit to being consistent in this week? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you so I can cheer you on. If you enjoyed today's episode, remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave a review. Your support helps others just like you find this podcast. As always, thank you for being here. And remember, stay rooted, aim higher, and I'll see you at the summit.